Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mule channel. My name is Colton and today's video is on Google and their diversity program. Apparently they've cut a lot of their diversity programs according to their employees, and this is amazing because their rationale for cutting back on diversity is that it might come across as being anti-conservative, and it might get lawsuits from people on the right who don't agree with their diversity, that they're being excluded, stuff like that, which is absolutely hilarious because for the last 4 years, companies like Google, Marvel, Hollywood, all the major companies, they've had all these woke advertisements. They've had their woke programs. Their programs only for women. Their programs only for black people. Their programs only for brown people. It's all about gender politics and gender identity and race identity. And it's all a bunch of shit because it is anti-conservative, but it's also sexist, racist, among other things. So apparently they have deleted this program, this diversity program, and there's a big article about it. So we're going to check it out right now. So we're here, this businessinsider.com. Google reportedly cut back its diversity programs, and employees said the move was meant to avoid backlash from conservatives. This is very interesting. That is Google CEO Sundar Pichai on the left there. Google has significantly scaled back diversity and inclusion efforts. Moves that employees said were meant to help the company avoid a conservative backlash, NBC News reported Wednesday. Since 2018, popular training programs have been watered down or scrapped entirely, and jobs on the team responsible for the programs have outsourced or reassigned. A spokesman said, any suggestion that we have scaled back or cut our diversity efforts is false. Diversity, equity, and inclusion remains a company-wide commitment, and our programs have scaled up to match the pace of Google's growth, which is hogwash. That is a lie. Because you have employees saying that programs have been canceled. Google has faced intense criticism in recent years from employees over racism, pay discrimination, and its handling of sexual misconduct amid a broader referendum on the tech industry's diversity problems. So you might remember Google had Project Veritas had a couple of videos on Google exposing them and their hiring practices. Basically, if a candidate was a white man and a black woman, they would pick the black, and they had the exact same work history, the exact same skills. White man, black woman, they would pick the black woman. That is their hiring practice. That's embarrassing. You pick the person with the best candidate or whatever. You know, it could be this black woman, but it's they play so many race games that it's just ridiculous. And they're very heavy in diversity and inclusion. We have to include. We love inclusion, but we just don't like conservatives. You know, that kind of stuff. Google has made massive cuts to a diversity and inclusion initiative. Current and former employees saying moves are meant to shield the company from conservative backlash. One of the major motivations for cutting Sojourn, one of Google's diversity initiatives, is that the company doesn't want this to be seen as anti-conservative. It does not want to invite lawsuits and claims by right-wing white employees about Google discriminating against them. Wow. That's what an employee told NBC News. Does not want to invite lawsuits or claims by right-wing white employees about Google discriminating against them. Huh. That is interesting. You know, I just came across a video someone made about Legoland. They had 18 people in this one division of Legoland, and there was only one guy and 17 women. And the guy said that he was unfairly fired and stuff, and there's a lawsuit against Legoland, or I guess whoever makes Lego. The guy is suing them for like wrongful termination and stuff like that, and they only hired women, and they're sexist and all this stuff. One guy out of 18 employees. These companies are so woke that they won't even hire the best candidate for the job. They'll just hire whoever fits that diversity checklist, and they have all these programs like for diversity initiatives and inclusion. love inclusion. We just can't include conservatives. We just can't include Christians in this inclusion. It's all hogwash. A former Google engineer and author of a controversial anti-diversity memo circulated while he was still an employee sued the company in 2018, alleging that Google discriminated against conservatives, but he dropped the suit earlier this week. I wonder why. Google told NBC News that it cut Sojourn because the program was mainly focused on racism in the US, making it difficult to scale globally. Ha! Are you kidding me? Google told NBC News that it cut Sojourn because the program was mainly focused on racism in the US, making it difficult to scale globally. The majority of Google's 100,000 plus full-time employees are based in the US. But like, if you're gonna talk about gender politics and racism and all this shit, how is that only applicable to the U.S.? I mean, this is just a scapegoat comment, or like trying to get away, making up an excuse. Google told NBC News that it cut the program because it only focused on racism in the U.S. That is insane. That is weird. Yeah, and what else is in here? In 2019, black employees made up just 2.7% of Google's global workforce, a gain of 0.2 percentage points from the year before, while the share of Latinx employees increased from 3.6 to 3.8, and Native Americans made no progress, remaining at 0.3. Similarly, women represented 30.9% of Google's workforce in 2018, and just 31.6. Just 31.6 the following year. Oh my God. Why is everyone obsessed with gender politics? Why is this a statistic? I work for a company that has like 200,000 employees. There's no statistics on how many people are black, how many people are women, how many people are brown. Who keeps these statistics? They're so into the identity politics game. It is insane. It is friggin' insane. Women represented 30.9, or 31.6 in 2019. So that's the most recent number. I'm kind of shocked at that number, though. Based on how they think women are compared to men, you'd think that would be at least 50 or 60%. But, women aren't really into tech. I mean, that's just the way it is. Google struggled to hire and keep diverse candidates reflect a broader trend in the industry, even though the issue has received widespread attention in recent years thanks to the Me Too movement and several years of tech companies releasing diversity data. That's interesting. Google struggled to hire and keep diverse candidates. Maybe because you've only hired them because of what they look like, and you've set them up for failure. Maybe that's why you can't keep your employees. So that's it. Yeah. Google, this guy, Sundar Pichai? Sundar Pichai? This guy's a big SJW who makes up excuses whenever he gets called to Congress. And, yeah, this is funny. This is hilarious, though, that they are cutting diversity programs to avoid backlash from conservatives. Wow. People are starting to wake up around the world. BuzzFeed closing offices. Kickstarter firing woke political commissars. Marvel Comics canceling some of their woke books. DC Comics canceling their woke 5G event. We're starting to see a trend where companies are getting rid of these diverse programs, diverse hires, and they are going to go back to the basics because that's what happens during the virus. When all these companies are closed, they're losing millions and millions and millions of dollars. Disney just borrowed like $10 billion on their debt. These companies that are non-essential are going to go broke if they don't get back to normal. And when they do get back to normal, like the TV shows, movies and stuff, they have to rely on like the hardcore fan base. They can't rely on these people who don't exist, like the people who play women who read comics. Like they don't exist. Okay, Stop making product for people that don't exist. Focus on your main customer, which, if we're talking about comics, is like 35-year-old man, 35 to 50-year-old man. That's who reads comics. That's who buys comics. Make your comics for them. It's so simple. And Google, cutting back its diversity programs is amazing. People are going to be really upset when they find that out. And they try to make up some bullshit excuse. Oh, it was only about racism in the U.S. How does that make any sense? I love it. I love it. They're friggin' waking up. These companies are starting to wake up, and it's amazing. Please like the video. Please comment what you think about Google. I personally think they're a complete trash company. But what do you think about Google? I would recommend using DuckDuckGo as well instead of Google. That's what I use. Conservatives already hate Google, so I don't know how this is going to help Google. They're only going to lose following on the left, But that's the way it is. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos right